Andrew Luck has been sitting out of practice since July 29th with what was thought to be a lingering calf injury from April. Yesterday, Colts owner Jim Irsay told reporters Luck wasn't dealing with a calf strain, but actually a bone issue instead. Then GM Chris Ballard clarified last night Luck has not injured a bone, but was having pain in the front of his ankle, and his Week 1 status is currently uncertain. Rob? Oh, boy. How concerned should the Colts be with Andrew Luck's injury?
Given his history, I can understand why people are a little, leery because he's missed so much time. He's had so many injuries. But I'm going to say not too concerned from the standpoint of this. I think they're being cautious with him given his history. And I think they're taking their time not to rush him out because they don't want to further injure whatever's bothering him. And I think it's more precautionary. Now, I'm not a doctor. I haven't examined him. But I'm just saying.
He needs to clarify that, right,
Craig? I just need to clarify because I don't want people to be
I thought you went to medical school.
No.
No, okay.
It's called the Columbia J School.
Journalism.
A journalism school. But in this case, I think that's what it's more about. And I understand because this guy, and when I say this, he's more to me like if he's on your team and he's playing, you got a chance, like an Aaron Rodgers, no matter what the rest of the team is. That's how big he is to the Colts, Andrew Luck. Last year we saw him have a bounce-back year, 39 touchdowns, 15 picks, and they need him to be healthy. And if that means taking a little time and maybe missing a game or so to get him right, I think that's the way you got to handle it. But I'm not ready to panic. Oh, my God, we're going to go through another year of not having Andrew Luck, and it's the end of the world. I just think it's because it's him. People are panicking because of what we see, but I think it's more the right approach to deal with Andrew Luck in this situation.
Rob, you have to be concerned because it is Andrew Luck. Because you know this is our guy. This is the franchise.
But it's not the same injury is what I'm saying.
I don't care what injury it is. I don't care if it was a hair on his head. We have to take care of this. We have to be concerned because this is what makes us go. You mentioned it. With him on the field, we don't know how great they can be.
No doubt. That's no doubt.
Without him out there, we're not even talking about the Indianapolis Colts. Look at this. In last year, they were 7th in passing, 7th in points, passing yards per game. The year before, when he missed all of 17, they were 30th in both categories, passing yards per game, like total yards. And then the year prior to that in 16, they were 4th and 9th. So he is a difference maker, regardless of who you have at receiver, regardless of who you have in the backfield. We've seen him do it regardless of who you have up front blocking.
That's why I mentioned him in the same breath with Aaron Rodgers when he's on that team.
He's that type of a player that you have to be concerned about his health. And with him, as you mentioned, not taking a snap since, when was it, July?
July 29th.
You're thinking, like, when are we going to see this guy back at full strength consistently? And that's the thing that starts to draw concerns for me. And another thing, when you have one result coming back as, you know, there may be a bone issue, calf, and now it's ankle. When you start to have some variation in what it is we're looking at from an injury standpoint, now I'm concerned, is it really what you're looking at?
And Kevin Durant just texted me and said, yeah, he's been through that before.
You see what I'm saying?
It's even worse than that because it's been 5 months, guys, and they still are only finding out now what it is. Rob, how are you not worried about this? We're talking about, hold on, not just a great quarterback, comeback player of the year last year.
Oh,
The Colts start 1-5, okay? They were getting shelled. They couldn't stop anybody. The defense improves, but Andrew Luck was everything. So what'd they do in the offseason? Well, he needs more guys besides T.Y. Hilton. They go get Devin Funchess, solid receiver. They draft Paris Campbell, who's slaying, by the way.
Eric Ebron had an unbelievable year.
This is a team built around Luck. Listen, you guys know I do a gambling podcast for FS1. I was in Vegas last month. I bet on several teams to win the Super Bowl. The Colts are one of them. They have one of the best odds to win the Super Bowl. They're not even in the playoff discussion without Andrew Luck.
Yeah,
this is big-time seriousness.
I get that, but I'm also saying I think that they're taking a cautious approach with him, excuse me, given his history. And then, I mean, you can paint, oh, my God, the sky's falling. You don't know that. And all I'm saying is, if it's the same injury, Greg, I would be with you. But when you talk about something different, you get hurt in football. You get banged up. There's something else going on. And all I'm saying is I think they rather err on the side of caution rather than rushing him out so that you feel good that he's taking snaps in practice.
How many times do they
when he's not there?
Are they going to screw this up? Rob, the shoulder, they screwed it up. They didn't know. Oh, he's coming back. He's coming back. Oh, he's out for the season. Well, the lacerated kidney that he suffered. There was a quote from one of these doctors that said, Luck's injury from the kidney a few years ago was like something somebody gets in a car accident. And the Colts had no clue. They were like, oh, he's almost ready. Oh, no, wait, he's done. They have consistently screwed this guy up, and it's troubling. Last year, Andrew Luck was look at it. Here's the history right here. This is really devastating. Andrew Luck was the second-best quarterback in the NFL last year against the blitz because his ability to read the defenses and mobility without an ankle injury, he's not going to be mobile.
What you just said,
they open against Ingram and Bosa and the Chargers. That is a fierce pass rush. If he can't run, I don't want him out there.
But see, what you just said is the reason why I like this approach, because before they were always throwing stuff out there, oh, he's coming back, he's not ready. And in this case, we don't know. They're not going to do that. They're going to take their time with him. Don't tell people he's coming back and it's nothing. Make sure you know that this guy is going to be in the best shape, and don't put him out there till he's healthy. So holding him back, I get it. You want your reps, Greg, and you want him to be out there with all the other guys, but I think the Colts are doing it the right way. Take your time with Andrew Luck because you've had nothing but bad luck with him.
Rob, I agree. I believe that they're taking their time and they're doing the right thing and taking the right approach. However, they should be concerned
5 months
because they've been down this road too many times. And when we're talking about Andrew Luck, we're not talking about a running back that we feel like the shoes can be filled by committee. We're talking about a franchise guy who has proven that he is a difference maker. Period, clear cut, no confrontation about that. The one thing here that I don't like is the misdiagnosing of what it is. And having played and being misdiagnosed, it's not something that you take lightly as a player, which is why a lot of guys get ridiculed about going and getting a second and third opinion outside the team dynamics and the team walls. And why is that? It's because you have somebody who's not tied to your organization looking at you now and who's not kind of skewed in their conveying of what information.
It's a conflict of interest.
It really is a conflict of interest at times because you don't know as a player, are you really in it for me, or are you trying to push me back out there when I'm really not ready? I was in Green Bay, and I do not think it was intentional at all. I got my last year in Green Bay, I had a sports hernia, what it turned out to be. Well, it was diagnosed as a groin injury, which all signs led to, I felt it similar to what I felt before, and I'm like, yeah, it is a groin. I thought myself it was a groin. Well, I get a second and third opinion outside of the team, and no, it's not a groin, it's a sports hernia. So this is why when you're dealing with players of this caliber, you don't wait. And that's where I'm like, what are you guys doing? Why have you waited so long to continue to investigate what this really is? Like, send him off to specialists and let them figure out and come back with information and intel that lets you know clearly what's going on with your franchise.
I think that's fair. My only concern is I'd rather them take it slow with Andrew Luck than just put him out there to please other people and to be like, oh, well, he's out there, he'll be fine. No, let's not say that because they've done this in the past and he hasn't been fine. So let's take our time. And I agree with you. Go out and make sure, diagnose it properly, and then get him back.
They are taking their time. I mean, they haven't had any clue what the injury's been since March. I mean, 5 months in. I think
Greg,
it's
you
this.
say that. I mean, Greg, Jason, you say that. But come on, there are doctors there, and it ain't as clear-cut as everybody is. Greg, would you admit that?
I would admit
Everything's not clear-cut.
Time to get a new batch of doctors in there.
No, but there's somebody going to send you to a specialist, or they're going to send you to another doctor because they can't really see or figure out what it is.
All right.
It's not that cut and dry.
I mean, he's had the MRIs, and if the MRIs aren't showing up the information that's necessary, that's when it's like, okay, we got to send him somewhere else. We got to get different scans done so we can really know what's going on. And it's, again, regardless of what player it is, they still should do this. But the fact that it's your starting quarterback and he's that important to your success as a team, as an organization, you got to get this done.
All right, from one quarterback to another, Baker Mayfield.